What's up, guys? We got locked in day 2 of cut part 2, and I'm feeling so much better now that I'm cutting. That week of like gluttony, basically, of just like eating whatever I was craving. This kind of played out. Everyone knows this, time and time again. But you feel so much better when you eat clean. And like I was kind of getting to the point where I was just like edging into the like sugar or whatever, like occasional treats. I was being really good about moderation, to the point where I was like, you don't feel that much better when you eat clean. Like I'll eat like a donut or something and still feel fine. But when your percentage leaks over like 25% not clean to 75% clean, as soon as you start getting into the like 1/3 range and more, that's when you really start to see like a fall off of like how good you feel. Especially like 50-50. Like if you're eating more than 50% of just like greasy or like generally like unhealthy food, that's really where you start to feel like crap. And I feel like people just like, and I say people, but I've been people before, where like you kind of get used to it and you kind of just get used to feeling like crap. And I'm not saying I got to that point after a week, but let's just say I did it long enough that I can rewrite that high of feeling great again, eating clean. So far I've seen progress on the scale, but it is taking its time to kick into gear. I think one of the hardest parts that people have with losing weight is that you kind of like, your body needs to realize that it's in a deficit, you know what I mean? Like that you're trying to lose weight, because it doesn't like to change. It doesn't like to gain weight or lose weight. So you kind of just need to like be consistent long enough for your body to be like, hey, we're losing weight. And all of a sudden it gets a lot easier, because at least for me, I'm like I'm definitely a very detail-oriented person, but I'm also very motivated by results. If I don't see results, then I have trouble feeling like that's something that I need to like put effort towards. And so anyway, because of that, it can be hard, first couple weeks where you're like, or at least, especially the first week, where you feel like you're not seeing any results. But fortunately, that ends very quickly, because after just 1 week of consistency, I feel like that first week you lose like 5 pounds, and then after that it's a little bit more steady. So yeah. But anyway, I'm looking forward to being real lean. I feel like this is kind of a given, but it's something that I struggle with, and it's just that like nobody's like super lean all the time, like I've been fighting my whole life to kind of like look the way I want to look, and now that I've kind of gotten to a time where like I like the way I look, I really don't want to lose it, But the thing is, it's like, as long as you're good about your eating, you can look however you want, like, if you want to put on muscle, you've got to bulk up a little bit, but you can mitigate the ab loss. You can mitigate the fluffiness if you're disciplined in your diet. And that's kind of something that I struggled with at first, because it was like, oh man, I can't wait till I get all the way leaned out. Then I don't have to worry about my diet anymore. But that's kind of the thing, man, is that if you care about looking a certain way, or being able to lift a certain way, or being able to do certain things, you gotta be disciplined about your diet. And I feel like at first there's like a lot of negative connotations with that, like the eating disorder talk. And don't get me wrong, eating disorders are real, and feel bad for anybody that suffers from that. But what I got is not an eating disorder. What I got is goals, you know. And I feel like from an outward view, that level of obsession can kind of be mistaken as a disorder, you know. And I'm not saying I'm super obsessed, but at the same time, it takes a level of dedication to like track everything you eat, you know. Like, it takes a level of being locked in to stay accountable for everything you eat and everything you drink and stuff. And so I'm definitely at peak level of trying to keep myself accountable right now, but that's something I hope to maintain, you know. Like, at first I kind of felt like it was unfair, because it's like I can't look the way I want to look unless I, you know, track what I eat all the time. Even on a bulk, I still gotta like make sure I don't overdo it, which kind of stinks. But I mean, think about other people that have to do that, like professional athletes. Like, at the end of the day, if you want to have the best, you got to do what it takes to be the best. If you want to look freaky, you got to do freaky stuff. So, I've kind of come to terms with it a lot more, and honestly, I've been liking the apps. I think I mentioned the app I'm using in the previous video, but you know, if this ever pops off, I don't want to do it for free. So, safe to say, I'm just using a popular macro tracker. And honestly, it's really like, I mean, I'm day one in. We'll see if I stay feeling this way, but I feel like I like tracking my calories a lot more when I just put it in the app. I've tried apps before, and I wasn't a fan in the past, but I feel like they've all improved a lot with this latest like fitness push. And they make it a lot easier, because the one I'm using, like, I originally made an account back in 2018 and lasted like a day and a half on the app, because it just, I don't know, it was such a pain in the butt. They didn't have a very big like database of food and stuff, so you had to manually enter everything. But now I can like scan the barcode or type in the name or whatever. It's super easy to find. And honestly, it just makes me enjoy dieting a lot more when I can still have barcode foods every once in a while. Not necessarily like processed either, but just like Greek yogurt, stuff like that. I mean, I'm still weighing it out, but it's a lot easier to track when I can just scan it real quick instead of like being a huge chore. Or I got my pre-workout Rice Krispie treat. These go super hard. It's one of the things that gets me excited for working out now, is craving those Rice Krispies. But I don't know, I feel like you gotta have stuff like that. You gotta have stuff like the apps and the Rice Krispies, you know, just like things that get you excited for the gym. Because at the end of the day, like, it's not always something you want to do. Like, I'd say out of the week, there's probably 5 of the 6 workouts I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to go. But every single week, you know, there's always that one day that you're like, I don't really feel like going. But then you're like, well, but I got my app to keep me accountable. I got my Rice Krispie treat waiting for me. So, you know, sort of that like habit stacking stuff where you're like, well, if I want this, I got to do the whole thing. And it makes it a lot easier. So, you know, anyway, that's all I got for today. Peace out.